With Kendrick Perkins coming into the NBA season as usual, predicting that the Warriors dynasty is over, the Warriors went on to have an up and down season all year, but since having a month-long struggle on the road, they have since gone on a 3-game winning streak, including 2 straight on the road. Meanwhile, Steph Curry is having another MVP caliber season in year 14 at age 35. So this begs the question, have primes in the NBA extended? A player is considered to be in their prime around age 27 to 28 years old. Now this is based on the average age of an MVP, which is 26 to 27, and the average age of an NBA All-Star, which is 27.7. Now statistically, Steph has only been getting better since the 2014-2015 NBA season. And I mean, at 35 years old, he's playing better now than he was at age 28. Now this made me look back at Allen Iverson, another legendary point guard. But year 14 at age 33 was the year the AI dropped off a cliff, both efficiency and usage wise. But Allen Iverson was a very physical, athletic player, and he didn't rely on the outside shot anywhere near as much as Steph did, only shooting about 2.7 threes a game. AI's game more revolved around his speed and creativity under the rim and getting off tough shots over bigger defenders in the perimeter. A much more stressful game to play for sure. So next I looked at Reggie Miller. Although he didn't rely on the three as much as Steph did, he certainly relied on it more than any other player in the 90s. And in year 14, he was also 35, but Reggie was just as good as he had been for the previous 7 years. But interestingly, it was the year after year 14 that he got worse and worse for the next 4 years until he eventually retired. Now I'll accredit this to him relying more on the outside shot and not having to be such a physical player, because you can certainly argue that Reggie Miller's prime had been extended since he was averaging just as many points at 35 as he had been at 31. Now next I wanted to look at Kobe Bryant. But of course in year 14, he won his 4th championship because Kobe was drafted at 18. So that means that in year 14, he was still only 29 years old. But interestingly, at year 19, when he did turn 35, that happened to be the year that he tore his Achilles and rotator cuff. And this would eventually set him on the next 2 years that would send him out of the league and into retirement due to injury. Michael Jordan won his last title at 35 and then retired. He only made it to a year 14 because he came back and played for the Wizards just to prove that he could. Some of the statistics surrounding the NBA career just don't make any sense, because if you look up the average length of an NBA career, you'll see that it's only 4.5 to 4.9 years. But whenever we look at players that we like to see or players that we follow, it seems like they only come into their role after year 3 or 4. Other than the superstars, people that came in right away from their rookie year and just played like all-stars such as Trae Young, John Morant, Zion Williamson, and of course we can go all the way back to LeBron. Now there's no way to say with 100% certainty that primes in the NBA have been extended. I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of advances in sports medicine, but apparently that hasn't stopped injuries from becoming more prevalent in the NBA. But at the end of the day, it's impossible to tell if Steph Curry is still playing like he's in his prime because he's figured out some secret to extend it, or just simply because he's that good. So I'm gonna let y'all decide.